Afternoon, everybody. It's the Dark Comic Nerd playing Fate Grand Order. Been a while, hasn't it? That's pretty much because nothing much has been going on. I can't play the current event, but even though I can't play the current event, we're going to be rolling for some of the characters in the current event. Thing is that when events come up and I have not progressed far enough through the storyline, which a lot of you that might have watched me back on my Dark Comic Nerd channel, where I originally had this, you would have seen that where there was a lot of times I hadn't finished the main storyline. Because I haven't finished it, I couldn't do a lot of the events that came up. There's a lot of events I actually missed because of the 2 years I couldn't play the game. That was the big one. But a lot of the other events that came up were because the game's main storyline, you had to be through it. Now, barely any events are actually tied to the first storyline. You have to actually be through the first storyline and through a good chunk of the second storyline up to the current. Because I think it's next month that they're actually going to release Lost Belt 4 before you can actually do anything. So, because of the fact that I have not much going on there, and because there hasn't been much for banners lately, they've been kind of lackluster. Even iStark11 talked about it. There just hasn't been much going on. Now, I'm going for Gusto kind of here. We got a couple tickets. We're going to do a Kitashan, even though they have been very. They have not worked out very good. But what we're going to do with the Kitashan is we're going to do my ritual first, and then we're going to do the Kitashan and see if we get lucky. Because we've had, as you guys have seen, a lot of good characters, meaning they've been 4-star or higher. Not necessarily something I needed, but they've been good characters. We've had a lot of those coming up with ticket rolls lately, but under the right circumstances. So we're going to do things a little differently. Now, let me be clear. Rain's here. The girl on the left, right. Sorry. I'm not as interested in picking up that character, except the fact that she's a new character. I've read stuff about her. The character doesn't just seem like that big of a deal to me. But I'd also like to have her when this event probably is going to roll around next year again. I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Astria, that's one I'm a little more interested in. So the thing is that that's who I'm going to kind of be rolling for more, but I'll take either character. And I didn't particularly want to roll on this one where there's so many rate-up characters. Emmy Assassin's in the back, Babbage. Babbage, as it is, I just got him up to third Ascension. I'm all set with having Babbage, but he's only a 3-star, so he really won't take up that slot for a 4 or 5-star. If anything, they're going to probably throw a lot of Graft Essence at us. That's what. And of course, can I use it? Not really. So, but that's what we're looking at, guys. So, when I say we're going for Gusto, though, it's because I don't have enough money to throw at this. I'm, as it is, just kind of borrowing from Peter to pay Paul right now. So, I barely had enough money to do this, but I wanted to do this, and it's only got 2 more days. 2 days, I think, in it. So, the thing is, that's why we're doing it now. That's why I wish I had done it earlier, but I didn't have the money. Just a lot going on, guys. But I wanted to get everybody caught up. That's what's going on. I can't remember exactly what the next thing is. It's going to be happening here. This is kind of a layover, I think, if I remember correctly, from the end of last month. So there, if I remember correctly, there is not much here going on in May, except that I want to tell everybody that they have this going on, the class-specific pickup summons. Nothing I'm really interested in. No, thank you. And they will be doing that. They will be switching that up every, I think, couple days. So if there's anybody watching this that is new, or anybody watching this that isn't a subscriber, or just be aware of that if you weren't already. In the meantime, guys, let's do some enhancements in the old craft essence area. I've been saving a few things specifically for this. So, let's work on. I'm gonna think about using this. Is it? Yeah. Let's merge some together. We have to unlock those though. I'm not. It's the C-star thing is not a hopping big deal to me. I'll admit. So, oops, wrong one. I don't get that particular craft essence very often, but what the hey. Because it's not something I use either. Now we're going to be working on craft essences here, but there is a special rate up, quote unquote, going on with certain servants having to do with the event. So just be aware of that, everybody. The event's almost over, though, so anything I say having really to do with the event is kind of a whoop-de-doo kind of thing. So for anybody that's new watching this, doubtful that we'd have anybody new, that's what we were going for. We wanted a super or great success. Sometimes I refer to them as doubles or triples to just make it easier. We got that one relatively quickly. So this will be pretty quick. We're going to zip right into it. Alright guys, let's keep our fingers crossed. Like I said, we're looking for... I can stomach getting Emmy Assassin, but we're really looking for one of the two girls up front. Keep in mind, if you guys are doing like me, if we're looking for what I call crackle cards, when they switch from what looks like a basic card to a gold card, whenever the card is a servant, which is when you get that triple ring thing, you look at the back, and when the card's flipping around, if it shows its class type on both sides, see, that would be its class type right there, Archer. If it had shown Archer on the front and back when it was spinning, that means it's going to turn into what I call a crackle card, and that means we're going to get an interesting little event. Or we could get straight out gold. What do we get? Yes! Woo! And that's why we wanted Astria, guys. She is a new ruler. Nothing fancy, no lights and stuff and spinning effects on that. We've seen less and less of that, but we got ourselves our new ruler. I'll admit, I had forgotten what her class type was, but now I remember why. Oh my gosh, what are we going to get now? Oh my gosh, guys! Woo! Yes, we got both cards in one roll. Oh my freaking word. That has got to be one of my luckier draws I have ever had. Two headliner cards in the same roll. Guys, I just bought a whole bunch of quartz for no good reason. That has got to be the best roll I think I've had in a while. Alright, we're going to jack the volume up so you guys can hear them when they're done. Wow. Wow. No big flare, nothing either. No rainbow effects, no nothing. Just bam, there you go. Get out of our face. Another ruler, I love it. Yeah, funky eyes, that woman. That's why they call her Reigns. Okay, so there's a lot to really do here, guys, because if not, this would be a short video. Oh gosh, this is the wackiest. I don't think I've ever seen it happen where I got the two headliner cards of a banner bam, bam, like within shot of each other. And we're talking 2 4-star cards, guys, and 5. Do my rituals work or what, guys? Does my ritual work or what? I get to save all that extra 159 for the next thing, guys. That's awesome. With us going into June here soon, with the summer season ramping up, that is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. What a comeback, guys, right? Right. So let's go over everything, guys, that we have going on here. We got one of our, more quote-unquote guaranteed 4-star craft essences. We got no event craft essences, which is fine by me because they are worthless to me. I can't do the event, as you guys know. Let's talk about this character first. They're calling her Reigns. The thing is that what it is she is like the partner, meaning like I think part of a detective service. So we've got Malloy the Third, and I'm guessing that she's got some relation to Malloy. Let's find out. Okay, so the character itself was a military general and politician of the Three Kingdoms who was posthumously given the title of Emperor. Or that's who she's supposed to be, just like her rival and fellow tactician, which must be El Malloy III. She has manifested by using a certain mage's girl's body as a vessel. So this person is a guy, or was a guy, or something like that, but they're using a young girl for this. What is logical to yield one's consciousness to the vessel in order to operate here in the modern world? Aren't you being a little too logical? So there we go. As the bond levels increase, I will know a little bit more about this character. Except for the fact that she's got good luck and good MP, there's not much to the character. Typical thing, her first ascension, pretty basic outfit, nothing too fancy. First skill set, Tactician's Advice A, which is very similar to Malloy. We might actually go and do a little talk about how she's connected to the Malloy the Third that I was talking about. We'll go into that. So, increase defense and apply incoming damage cut and slightly increase MP gauge for all allies. I have a hunch, guys, looking at this. This is why everybody was really big on this, and I will explain what the big deal is. Now, here's where she would have helped in the, the event. I'm actually starting to wonder the fact that I can't do the event. That's why they kind of just threw me a bone. But she would have increased her attack strength by 100% and increased the bond level when we were doing stuff by 50. Now, here's why I'm not a huge fan of her Noble Phantasm, and I'll explain how it relates to the other Malloy character, because this is one of these things that's not really an attack one, which is why I'm not a big fan of it, but I have a hunch if you use it with the right characters, it can be very effective. So, greatly decreased defense, and greatly decreased defense and decreased critical rate of all enemies. Negate defense disadvantage due to class affinity for all allies. Remove debuffs for yourself. That's actually impressive, guys. If you have a defense disadvantage due to a class affinity, it's going to negate that, which means if a certain character, like let's say she's a rider, which means she can take more damage from an assassin? Yes, an assassin. This Noble Phantasm would negate that for 3 turns. So that's great. That's actually pretty special. But I would prefer something that would actually attack. Usually I prefer something to attack. This is more of a defense boost kind of thing. And it's going to do some stuff to your enemies at the same time. Not something I was particularly keen on, but I understand where the appeal comes from. And we'll go into where she relates to Malloy after we look at the other character real quick. So here's our new ruler, Astria. Let's read the profile. Astria chose the most fitting vessel to possess for the goddess of justice and balance, a person who was born to stand above all others. She is a certain character from quite a few of the animes, particularly in Fate Stay Nights. And she shows up a lot in the Ilia, I can't pronounce it, but it's like Prism series where she's with who is it? It's oh gosh, I can't remember her name right now. But another prominent character. I'm just having a brain cramp on the name right now. Um, and she's rivals with that other character. If you believe the premise holds true, she certainly fits the bill, having accepted her duty to wield justice as her authority. She will never go out of control by claiming to be her right. However, despite her virtuous standard, whenever she comes across anything rare or precious, she has a tendency to think of it utmost importance that it be protected. In other words, she is most elegant, cunning hyena, even when she is from the heavens. Now look at that MP, guys. It's an EX rank. Her strength, endurance, NP are all A pluses. That's very, 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 very interesting. I like the sprite. It's really cool. I don't think, to be honest, looking at the sprite, they did it justice with the art they gave the card. So it's a real shame, but hey, it is what it is. This is what I'm looking for. Let's go back, guys. First skill, Blessing of the Scale, increase attack and defense, and NP gain for one ally. That's actually pretty nice. Looks like she's going to have some other little things. Looks like her skill set too is going to boost art cards, and the third one is going to burst. It's going to increase what looks like critical star rate of some sort, or either gain rate or something. But we'll look into that as we go along. During the event, she would have increased her attack strength by 100%, and completing quests would have gained a 50% boost in her bond thing. Oh well, it is what it is. Anti-crime, I like that. I don't think I've seen that one before. That's great. Custos Morium. Deals significant special attack damage to a single evil enemy because of the scales thing. Attack damage increases with overcharge, of course. Gain a large amount of C stars. So she does a lot of damage to evil enemies. Ooh, that's going to be helpful, I think, actually, in future events. Like I said, guys, we've looked at all the stuff there. That is the big deal with that. We won't even look really at the extra thing. I just cannot believe that. I'm going to be selling this video hardcore on my YouTube channel because that was just phenomenal. That was phenomenal. You do not see that very often. I might have pulled that stunt once before if I think about it, but it does not happen very often if we've even done it before at all. Wow. Just wow, guys. And I want to show you what I mean by how it's wow. All right, let's see here. The odds of getting the first character, the Astria, was only 1.2. That's pretty good. That's not bad, all things considering. And then there's the next one, Reigns, is 0.7. So that tells you guys, we're talking small ratio. But to get both of them, just... And then the drop rate on the craft justice is much better, and we got none of those. So, it was a good day. I think I picked a good time. It's in between noon and 1. I just got very, very lucky. Thank the Lord. I can't say much else. Now we're going to talk, guys, about, real quick, I want to show you guys what I was talking about. For some people that aren't familiar with what's going on, let's go to the My Room thing, which actually I haven't looked at it, because during the event there's supposed to be a special Malloy thing going on. Oh yeah, it does have that kind of like in the clock tower. It's different. It's not what you usually see. So that's cool. Okay, we're going to be looking up a certain character, guys. Give me a minute. I don't know about anybody else, but I've been having weird issues with the loading lately. When it comes to my game, it seems like it's been loading everything a lot slower. And it's not just here at my house, so it's not just my internet. It's been at work, and it's been a lot of other places. So I'm a little concerned about what's going on. Okay, guys, here's what we're looking at. I gotta admit, I cannot pronounce the name of what this is supposed to, this character, Zhu Lang, or whatever it is. So I'm just gonna go with Lord El Malloy II. Sorry, I kept saying the third, my bad. So this character and the girl Reigns that the other Chinese rival to this guy, Liang. That young girl, if I'm not mistaken, is somehow related to this particular character, because the thing is that I'm trying to see if I can find. Unfortunately, they talk more about. Yeah, let's just say this guy's Lord El Malloy 2 is more of a title than it is the actual name. So the thing is, I don't know if there's an actual relation between him and the other character. But now that we have her, guys, we can actually look at the character. Give me a minute, see if I can find her. And we'll view that one more time, guys. But I believe there's a relationship between the original bodies that those particular spirits are inhabiting. I like the music they're doing in the background, so I gotta admit, every once in a while you'll hear me be quiet, guys. It's partially just because I like to hear the music. It's actually a very nice soundtrack they're using for that. So, see how she was originally, this character was, I believe, a man. It's possible. It keeps saying her and stuff like that, so it's possible. In China, she was a woman, Simi Yai? Or something. So yeah, that might be more of a woman's name. So, but what were we looking for? We were looking for the original name, and I believe she only mentioned it. She only mentioned it when we were summoning her, so that's the problem. Give me a minute, guys. We'll pull up. We'll actually show you guys something really cool. You can, and the good thing about these is when you go into this particular My Room thing and you do all the stuff I did, you can pull up the voice and actually read a lot of stuff that you, as you can see, unlock more as you go through. What we want is the summon. There we go. Pseudo servant means she's not fully summoned by herself. She needs a body to inhabit. Actually, we can turn that down, so my apologies, guys. We've all heard this before, so we can turn that down. So, Renee's El Malloy, and I'm not going to try to pronounce the rest of that, but there we go, guys. The El Malloy. So, I was mistaken. There might actually not be a relationship, because like I said, El Malloy tends to be more of a title. So she might have a very similar title to Lord El Malloy II, which his real name is Waver something, if I remember correctly. The reason they're doing this whole thing is there's a thing called the El Malloy Files, and it's, I think, like a detective type service type thing. So, the big deal is, and I was talking about it briefly about her skill set, guys, is, you see how it says tactician's advice? Well, if we go over to him, there it is. The same thing. Decreased defense, damage cut, NP. Now, his first one is the Discerning Eye one, which I actually find it a pretty nice thing. Tactician's Command, that's going to be his last one. I'm getting closer to ascending this character up high enough to do that, but let's just say it's not been working out as best as I would like it to. But we're getting closer. We're getting closer. But if you go down back to the other character, Emperor Zon's Command, and then she's got this Supreme Mystic Code. So her stuff is going to be different, but that very first one, they're making her very similar to Lord El Malloy. And if you use these characters back to back, everybody remember, if you guys look at this thing with her, decreased defense, decreased critical rate, negate defense. Now, when it comes to Mr. Lord El Malloy here, let's look at it, decreased charge, decreased defense, medium chance to inflict stun, and you can also affect your enemy with curse. So imagine using both their Noble Phantasms together. Look, unreturning formation. Sound familiar? They even named the Noble Phantasm. They even gave it the same type. It's an art type. His is anti-army. I believe hers was. I don't know if it was an anti-army actually. Was it an anti-army? Anti-formation. So they really set these characters up so you could use them probably during the event in a way that you could actually do a lot of. You could really mess up your enemies with buffs, with debuffs, including you get rid of her debuffs. Anybody that's tried to do anything to her, the debuffs, boop, gone. So she's got low defense or anything like that, gone. It's only for herself, but hey, what the heck. I wish I could have gotten that gray character, which was a welfare servant, meaning it was a servant that you did not have to pay money for like I did. Though we did really good for the money I paid. But I'm guessing they all would have worked very well together. And that gray character was an assassin. So we're looking at a rider, an assassin, and a caster. And trust me, there's something to be said about that. If you have a look at the chart to show which classes are stronger than others, caster is stronger than assassin. Assassin is stronger than rider. Rider is stronger than... So there's a reason I think you see the characters with those classes. I think they did that a little bit on purpose. Even though they're not fighting each other, but they can assist each other against enemies that have the weakness of other... enemies that have strength over the other characters if you use them in a formation. Some really cool stuff here. Some really cool like Easter egg type things. Just overall in all, very nice. Very nice. I'll be going and actually now working towards getting the characters. I'm going to take and use some either throwaway characters for EXP or use some EXP, some blazes, or Embers of Wisdom, which I do have a couple. I actually ran into 18 Embers of Wisdom that I didn't know I had. So we're going to use a little bit of those and just boost the character up a little bit. It's a 5-star character, though. Rain's there, so we'll be a long time coming before we can get her up to her even first ascension. But hey, what the heck. We'll try. There's still a boosted thing going on right now. I would like to remind everybody, going over here to enhancement, servant here. Let's do it by event bonus. There we go. Now that we have those two characters, there is a boosted thing that's going on for another couple days. So if you haven't done fully with a lot of you probably have more of these characters than I do. There are other characters. Get out there. If you have the embers, use them, guys, and get those characters leveled up. In the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoyed this little different video today, guys, where we actually did that roll. It was very quickly. It was very, very quickly done. We have to save a whole bunch of quartz for later on. What a surprise. And we did a little bit of back history on the characters and their relationships to each other. And... you know, considering that I can't do the event and the event can't talk for the relationship between these characters for itself, I just thought I'd do a little bit more. A lot of you that are playing the event probably have a lot more that you can, you know a lot more already about the relationship between Renee's or Rains or whatever her name is and El Malloy. But for those of you that are in the same boat as me and haven't been able to get to that point, well, there you go, guys. Let's just consider it maybe a little speculation in the meantime. There we go, guys. That is it for today's video, especially since it's been a while. I hope I didn't bore you guys too much. In the meantime, if you like this video, hit the like button. I would really, really appreciate it if you guys would leave some comments. Shout out to my friend Chunky Jeffrey, or Jeffrey in the Bible, as he sometimes goes by. His wife Debbie, and my friend, what is it, Minato Super Ball, I believe. And I haven't heard from him in the comment section lately, but considering that he made many, many comments on some of the other videos, I hope he likes this one. I'm kind of dedicating it, I guess, in a sense to him, because he's seen a lot of my videos where I get my comma rolls and all my good stuff, and he's commented. So if he leaves a comment today, much appreciated, because I would just love to see what he has to say about this and any of other people that have watched this, guys. What do you think of the role today? Was it as awesome as I thought? Because I thought it was awesome. Also, if you want to subscribe, guys, feel free, but I don't beg for your subscriptions. The only thing I tell you is that the subscriptions here on this channel are low. I admit it. Nowhere near what my Dark Comic Nerd channel has, which that's not even that big of a deal right now. But subscriptions help towards the only goal I'm looking for, which is if we get 100 subscriptions, we can give this channel its own web address, basically. So, well, if you guys consider it, please do. If you don't, I'm not going to be mad about it, guys. I'm not looking for monetization. I just want to do some special stuff with this channel. In the meantime, guys, I hope you enjoy it, because that's what this video is here for. And I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday, everybody. Catch you later.